Hello, this is James Rogers with iSource.com, and today we're going to take a look at the Livescribe 3 Smart Pen and Notebook Combination, Standard Edition from Livescribe. I've used several different digital ink products for iOS that will include capacitive styli, Bluetooth styli, and several different apps, and while some work better than others, none of them have been particularly ideal. This system, however, makes use of a traditional pen and ink, just with a more highly technological spin, and I have to say the performance is definitely better than anything I've ever tried. It's the best digital ink system I've ever seen for iOS. So let's take a closer look. This is a three-prong system. First of all, we have the Livescribe 3 Smart Pen, which from the looks is just a traditional ballpoint pen. This is actually a Bluetooth device with a camera in the barrel below where the ballpoint pen will protrude. The device is turned on with a twist. You can see the status light here changes from green to blue as it pairs up with the companion app, which we'll get to in just a second. As you can see, we now have our ballpoint pen protruding, and that activates our camera. Now the device gets 14 hours of battery life, and I can say that in the 2.5 weeks I've tested this device, I have not had to charge it once, so it certainly seems as good as advertised. It makes use of Bluetooth 4 low energy, which is probably how it's able to attain such a good battery life. The second part of this system is our notebook. This notebook uses special dot paper. The dots are so fine you have to look very closely to see them, and the camera on the pen uses those dots to track your ink when it's written on the page. And there's also some very handy shortcuts and icons and features built into the page because it's a specialized system that we're able to do that. Now that may seem a little limiting, being tethered to Livescribe for a specific type of paper, but you do have the option to print it. You just have to have a color laser printer, which unfortunately isn't incredibly common, but at least the option does exist. The third part of our system is the Livescribe Plus app, which is a free app that you can download from the iOS App Store, and it works with both the iPhone and the iPad. And this pen can actually sync with multiple devices at one time, so that's definitely handy. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll start writing in our digital notebook. I'll just say this is a test. Now, when you may have noticed in the app that page was actually created as I was writing on the page right here. So I can click on my notebook. It's going to take me inside the digital notebook, and each of the pages of my notebook is reproduced here. So very quickly as I write, the text is transcribed directly into the app. So you can see here a faithful reproduction of what I wrote in the notebook. It's very impressive, the accuracy. I've never had a moment's trouble with it. Another nice feature is that I can turn my iPad off there. Actually, let's take an even further step here. We're going to shut down this app. Okay. And I will continue writing in the notebook. This is only a test. Now, what good would such a system be if you had to be tethered to a device all the time? Another one of the great features of this app and the pen is that the pen can remember your ink. As you can see, after I've booted up the app, in the corner here, our pen icon has arrows because it's synchronizing, and as you look here, you can see the pen has uploaded my changes. So you could take your pen and notebook with you away from your device, write, come back to your device, and it will synchronize your work. The second main feature of this product is that we can take our digital notebook and it breaks it up into feeds. Now these are logical pieces of your work. So as you can see, the 2 lines that I wrote are broken up into individual feeds. Now I can swipe this feed to the right and you can see that my text has now been transcribed digitally. So my ink is already converted to text here. Now it didn't do so well with the second line, as you can see. So one of the nice features is that I can go into this and edit it. I have found the text, ink to text, to be very good. Unfortunately, my handwriting is just really bad. Alright, so now that I have this, I can then take my feeds and work with them. I can export these to any app that will accept a PDF. So I'll just use Adobe Reader here. As you can see, my text has been transferred to this app. I can go back and flip these back around to ink and also export that as well. I'll send this to Notability, create a new note, and here is my ink sent to another app. And then once it's here, I can actually mark this up and edit that PDF as I wish. Another thing you can do with these feeds, you can see here I've got some tasks that I took down on another page, is that I can take any of these tasks and open it in reminders or create a task. They both accomplish the same thing, and now we've got that set up as a task. So there are several different options. You can also add content from outside, pictures, additional text, and additional fields, so you can start to edit your ink here inside the app and augment it with extra content. The third main feature of the app is Pencast, and to me this is a potential game changer, especially for anyone like a student who is going to be taking lecture notes. What you can do is either from the app using a microphone or directly from the page, and I'll do that here in just a second, using my record, pause, or stop, I can push my pen onto the record button. As you can see, our red recording icon is shown up here, and I have started a new Pencast on this page. So as I'm talking, this app will record not only my text, but it will record my speech as well. Alright, so once I'm finished, I can hit the stop button either in the app or on the page. And now I have a new Pencast. As you can see, it's right here. The ink that I created in the app shows up in green. And if I touch this, it will skip to the portion of the audio. And the text will fill in from gray to green as I speak. So for someone who's taking long lecture notes, this is a potentially incredibly useful study tool, to be able to skip to the section of a lecture where you took your notes and hear that portion of the lecture where you might get some additional insights that you didn't catch the first time around. So to me, this is probably the best feature, and something you can't do without the digital hooks in this system. So the Livescribe 3 is most definitely the best digital ink package I've seen. The catch is that it is a tad on the pricey side. All these benefits do come at a price. The Livescribe standard package, which you see here, and also includes another ink cartridge and this 50-page notebook and a micro SD charging cable, retails for $149. That's from Livescribe, Amazon, Apple, and Paradise Pen. There's also a Pro edition that comes with a slightly different pen with dark chrome accents, a leather holster for the pen, and a leather folio with 100 pages. So that's $199. Obviously, this is a lot of expense on top of whatever digital devices you may already own. But when you consider that capacitive stylus is a good one is going to run you somewhere between $30 and $50, and don't even come close to measuring up to this kind of performance. An active Bluetooth stylus is also going to be limited as far as what apps it works with, in much the same way that the Livescribe is. And those are going to run you somewhere between $50 and $100. So putting it in that perspective, for someone who really relies on the ability to reproduce ink and prefers pen and paper, this system does still represent a very good value. So for someone who is dependent on digital ink, still prefers a traditional pen and paper, I would say that the Livescribe 3 is the best device that I've seen for working with these things in iOS. And I would definitely recommend it. It's not for everyone because of the price. There are some limitations where you have to work with a specific pen, specific types of paper, and your transcription is going into one single app. There are some other limitations with the flexibility of feeds and how it breaks those up. But I would say that the pros most definitely outweigh the cons, and I would highly recommend this product for anyone looking for a top quality digital ink solution for iOS.